Hello. Happy Thursday. It has been quite the week in my world and feeling filled with so much gratitude. I don't have my mushroom mug this morning, but I am chirping away today with this guy. Welcome. If you've never joined me in a live before, in my Thursday lives, this is an Ask Me Anything space. And so this is a place where you can come, where you can ask your questions on anything: health, wellness, mindset, trauma healing, relationships, anything and everything that is in your field and in your space. And I'm here to really just freestyle on your questions and hold space for you if you desire to come on in, and if you desire to have a conversation with me, request to join in the live, and I would love to chat with you. And today, while we're waiting for some questions to pop in the chat, I just want to reflect on my journey a little bit, and on the places that I've come from, the places where I've arrived, as I prepare for my soul journey next week. I am headed to Costa Rica for 6 weeks, and my past self would have very much feared many things as I step into this trip. Hello. Welcome. If you're hopping into the chat, let me know where you're tuning in from in the world. I would love to connect with you and know a little bit more about you. And if you have any questions, drop them into the chat. Anything health, wellness, mindset, relationships. If there's anything coming up in your world that you feel called to share and that you'd like to talk about, feel free to join me in the live. Hello from Florida. Where in Florida are you from? So like I was saying, next week I am headed on a 6-week journey to Costa Rica. And the intention for me as I step into this journey is to embody and step into greater levels of leadership. I've been really called to step deeper into the world of leadership, to lead in a very different way than I have been. And I'm excited because the thing that originally pulled me to Costa Rica was a 15-day somatic leadership immersion that I will be attending March 22nd through April 6th in Nosara. I've never been. I'm excited to be there. And I am headed to a festival, to Envision, which is a place I've always wanted to be, and a place of just beautiful creation, people that are in the leadership world, that hold space, that curate, that create, and they come from all over the world. And so this is going to be my first ever solo festival, so I'm really excited about that. I'm going to know people there, but yes, of course I will share what I learned with you. Is Maxima, we've got from Fort Lauderdale. I've got lots of friends in Florida. Yeah, of course, I will absolutely share my journeys and my experiences and my lessons with you, because that is really what I'm here to do. I'm here to reflect the lessons that I learn and that I experience in my life back. And, for me right now, I'm feeling all of this excitement, and I'm also feeling a lot of fear coming up around this trip for me. It is and can feel a little scary opting into solo traveling around the world by yourself. Even if you know people that you might cross paths with, you're on your own. And I truly think that it's one of the best ways to learn about yourself, to learn about how you show up, to learn about the things that maybe you don't think about, that you get to think about as you travel along and as you journey through the world. Hello, everyone. As you're hopping into the chat, let me know where in the world you're tuning in from today. This is an Ask Me Anything. So if you do have any questions, if anything's coming up for you in your world, if there's any themes, if you want to go deeper into some of the relationship things happening in your world, mindset things, health things, healing, trauma, anything that's coming up, feel free to drop your questions in the chat and I will answer them. And if you'd like to come and join me live and have a conversation, you are welcome here. But I'm chatting a little bit about the journey that I'm about to embark on for 6 weeks. And it is a beautiful opportunity for me to step into the thing that has been calling to my soul for such a long time, which is the balance between work and play, and being able to carry my work, being able to work with my clients anywhere in the world, and continue to grow my business and continue to support and be of service while I do that. And I think very often we have this idea that, well, we have to take off work and we have to stop engaging in work in order to take a quote unquote vacation or in order to go play. And those vacations are meant to fill up our soul, right? It's meant to make us happy. And like me and my friends say, right, it's there to make your soul skip. But what if you could do both at the same time? Like, what if you could create the life that you wanted, that allowed you to go where you wanted to go, to be where you wanted to be, and to continue to show up and to be of service in the ways that support your financial abundance, that support your stability in the world? And that is a huge part of this journey for me, is being able to step into that and really embody that. We have a question here. John King 50 says, do you talk about manifestation? I see this is a theme that is crossing paths with me lately. Yes, manifestation is a beautiful thing. It is something that I have learned how to build into my daily life. Manifestation is beautiful because really it is building awareness and being intentional about the things that you think about, the things that you do, the language that you use, thinking about the things that you desire. Again, going back to your soul skipping, thinking about the things that would make your soul skip. And how is it that you can be with those things without expectation in a way that creates space for them to come into your world? And that's really what manifestation, in my opinion, is about being able to magnetize the experiences that you want and desire in your life without the expectation that it's going to look a certain way. And I think when you can surrender and release that expectation, so much more magic gets to exist. Because things are never going to look the way that you expect them to. And things are never going to go exactly the way that you might want them to. And that's where like surrendering those expectations is so beautiful, because then you actually get to receive the parts of the experience without expectation that actually bring you more than you thought you could even experience. That bring you lessons that you didn't even know you needed. That bring you things that you didn't even know you could have. And I think when it comes to manifestation, words today are clearly hard. I think when it comes to manifestation, you, again, like you're the creator of your life. It sounds amazing. I believe it is coming into my attention for a reason. Absolutely. Like, and I love that you're seeing it. I love that you're starting to recognize that like these things are kind of like trickling in and being little breadcrumbs in your world. And I'm curious, John, like, is there something that you are feeling like pulled towards or drawn towards, or is there something that continues to come up in this practice of manifestation that you find yourself thinking about often? And is there something that like your heart's really calling for right now? Because again, you are the creator of your life. You literally get to have and to experience anything that you desire in this world. And as you move through your journey, move through your life experience, things are going to come up that might not feel good and might not be totally in alignment with you. And then you get to move through this process of bringing recognition to that and shifting slightly. Like I say, step to the side just a little bit so that you can continue walking forwards, but just from a little bit of a different angle. And those things that don't feel good, when you bring awareness to them and shift away from them, you get to create the space for the things that do feel good. And so, we have Pat here. Hello, lovely. John says, absolutely. It is retirement and a variety of things I want to do and new directions I want to go. Oh, I love that. John, I'm going to invite you into the live. I would love to chat with you if you're available and you want to lives a little bit. Hi, Pat. Yeah, John, I just sent you. Oh, there he is. Hello, friend.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing super good. Where in the world are you tuning in from again today?
I live in northern Indiana.
Oh, nice. How long have you been in Indiana?
Lived in Indiana my whole life. Originally, I grew up around Indianapolis, more the center part of the state. But about the last 25 years, I've been up in more of the north part.
Oh,
So
wonderful. Wonderful. And you were mentioning like manifestation is something that like continuing to drop into your life. Tell me a little bit about that.
it is. I've, just started just in the last few months, strangely enough, I've started to see it just showing up on certain things in social media. Some things I saw like on TV, a book that I bought. It's about creativity. I'm a musician,
Ooh.
and that's one of the directions I want to go. But it's a book written by a guy named Rick Rubin, who's a real well-known producer in that manifestation and that. And it's just weird to me that all of a sudden a year ago, I mean, I've always known what the word itself means, but what people, the context with it and stuff. It's just like this last few months, it's like it just keeps crossing my path. And I find it interesting right at the same time where I'm really starting. I retire in a couple of years, but I have a lot of things going that I want to really go into full steam when I retire, and interests and hobbies and things like that. And it's just kind of weird how everything is kind of converged, you know?
Well, I'm hearing you're like building this awareness, which is like, right, it's kind of like a muscle, right? If you go into the gym and start lifting weights, like you build your muscles over time and you build more connection with that area of your body. And I find manifestation to be really similar in that sense, where it's like it's beautiful that you're starting to see these things that you're like, oh, I'm noticing that this is showing up more often.
Yeah.
And believe in God, spirit, the universe, whatever it is that you feel is a part of your world and you refer to, it's almost like these little signs, right, that are like, hey, this thing,
Yeah.
like here, like look at this. And so you mentioned like retirement is a thing that's coming your way. And
Hmm.
so when you think about yourself in retirement, what are things that you desire to experience in that space of retirement?
Well, I mean, the first thing is I'd like to pursue my music work and singing and songwriting much more and have more time, since I'm not going to a day job. Also, too, I really want to do a lot of volunteer work
Mm.
in my area and stuff. I just don't have the time in my life right now, and it's something I really, really want to do. Um, my day job is I'm a school counselor. I've been my whole career in education, but it's just helping people for nothing other than just wanting to help and wanting to donate your time. Donating time, that's the one thing that you can't even put money on, you know, giving someone your time and attention. And I want to get into some various forms of volunteer work as well. That's another direction. I want to travel. I want to, there's just several things that I really, really want to pursue. And I'm really excited about the prospect of doing that. And
Mhm.
then, like I said, I started reading these things about, more focused attention and this. And when you focus your attention more and that awareness, now things start popping up, opportunities or other experiences and that and stuff. And that's kind of what I'm beginning to see. And I think I really want to pursue the manifestation thing
Yeah, and you're
even
already
more.
like what I want to point out is like you're literally already doing it just by thinking about these things. And there's so many ways that you can work with manifestation, and there's so many different things that you can do to like bring these experiences that you're desiring and that you're feeling into like closer. And what I find is one of the best ways to work with manifestation is to continue tapping into the feeling that you would have when you're retired, when you're songwriting and when
Right.
you're singing, when
Right.
you're traveling, when you're volunteering. Like think about to be of service, right? How does that feel in your body? How does that feel in your heart when you get to be of service without any
Mhm.
expectation of what you're going to receive in return?
Right.
And then
Right.
obviously, like there's almost this connection here with like, right, being of service and traveling, because if you're being of
Mhm.
service, you're going to be taken to different places to do that. And so, what I find with manifestation is if you can think about those experiences as in the future as if they're happening right now, and think about like what would that feel in your body? Like how would that feel to be of service? How would that feel to be traveling? Maybe you're being of service and sharing your music with the people that you're
Right. Which I've thought about doing that too, taking music and, like maybe going to hospitals, nursing homes as one example,
Mhm.
and that and play for people, in those kind of situations. So you're right. And I think too, just the idea also of being in a new kind of experience as well, a new environment, new people to be around, asking something different of myself that I haven't had the opportunity or the time or whatever to do. Kind of being, I guess it comes back to my education thing, coming back to be in a position of a new learner, you know, learning new stuff, not only about me, I mean, well, about me, but about the things that I want to get into and doing that. It just seems exciting to me. And I
It's like,
think that's a key to not be bored in life is to find new things to do or new ways to do things you've done. It's always got to be something new and different in that to learn from. And like I said, that's a whole different idea than what I've been doing. And I'm just excited about it.
yeah, I love that. I'm excited for you. It sounds like there's so many new opportunities. I think it's easy to get like mundane way, right? This is the life that we've built. We have to live this. This is the chapter. We're going to stay in it until the chapter's over.
Sure, sure.
Like you.
There's the realities of life you have to
Mhm.
have as well. But like I said, with retirement comes, I guess for me, the big feeling you ask about, what kind of feeling am I going to have? I think for me, the thing that's really exciting is I think I'll feel a new feeling of freedom.
Yes.
Not getting up, being at a certain place, certain time, this kind of thing. Just not being, you know, well, as you know, tied down by the things that you have to do day in, day out. There's a freedom of getting to try different things and all this. And I will have the time and the means to do that. So I'm pretty excited about that too. I think for me, it comes down to freedom and just the idea of being a helping person to other people.
Oh, I love
You
it.
know,
Is there anything in your world right now, in this moment, that brings you that same feeling of freedom?
I think not necessarily quite the sense of freedom, but I think it's more the thing is satisfaction of
Mm.
helping others. I'm a counselor in the schools. I work in school, middle school, high school, and I'm a counselor. So you're always in a position of sitting down, listening to others, helping others, get through difficult times or good times or whatever. But I think most of my career has been always that, and that's not going to change. It's just some of the different things I want to do as well. But I think as far as uh, I think it's just being a service to people, and that's kind of already doing that. But get into other things down the road, you know, when I get out of what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I'm hearing that there is this connection between what you are doing now and what you want to do when you step into retirement. That is, I'm seeing that weave through like being of service, and supporting others, helping others, like making others feel good or helping others feel good ultimately, right? Because that's their work. You're just the
Yeah,
guide for.
absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm
I mean,
like,
it's not like I'm doing this now and when I finish, I'm going to join the circus or, some 180-degree different thing than what I'm doing. No, I think it's like a continuation and a branching out.
Mhm.
I always told someone right now, you kind of feel like when you get what I've been doing as long as I have, you start feeling like that maybe it's like wearing a pair of shoes, like a size or two too small.
Mm,
And I'm ready to go to the next stage where now you can spread out and be even more you.
you're ready to expand, and that
Yeah.
requires you to break down some walls so that you have more space to expand into.
Yep.
And I'm wondering, because there's this theme with the work that you have now. My first question: have you ever done like a vision board or anything like
I think I know what you're talking about, but in what context? What do you mean? What are you envisioning on
Yeah, like my
vision board?
right, because I'm hearing that there's a couple of things that you want to carry into this next journey for you, this next phase, this next level of expansion into the person you're meant to continue becoming.
Hmm.
I'm hearing music. I'm hearing being of service and volunteer work. I'm hearing travel, and continuing to help people. And so I'm curious, like, if there might be like a little picture frame or something that you can buy that you can then put things on, whether it's a photo, whether it's like
Oh, I
little clips,
see.
something that continues to connect you with this version of you that you are becoming, that you are envisioning, you are manifesting into reality. And then maybe like putting it on your desk at work in a place where you get to see it every day and that allows you to remember and that reminds you to like the things that you're showing up to every day, how it is connected to what you are stepping into. And then also looking at it can bring you those feelings and those emotions that you'll get to experience when you actually are
Oh,
in.
that's a good idea. That's a
Because
good idea. It's kind of like a visual representation of thinking at a deeper level of how this is going to really play out and how it's going to connect, and that's a good idea. I like that idea.
words, right? And maybe there's words that you write on it. Maybe it's like I'm excited or freedom. So you
Hmm.
can bring in the like all five senses as much as possible, right? You're
Oh
seeing,
yeah.
you're feeling, you can read it, you can get into reality yourself. And as you look at this, you're now connected on a regular basis, even unconscious, right? Your subconscious is constantly seeing this photo
Okay.
and think things that are coming to my world. And when you can feel it and you can be with that experience regularly, there's this there's a term that people use, it's like called like time collapsing. And when you can feel it, ultimately it brings the experience to you faster. Joe Dispenza
I
does a
see.
lot of um, so I'm wondering like how would that feel to create some mind.
I think that'd be a great idea. And I think even one more step forward is I think I can do some of that too and tie some of that into as well my songwriting.
Yes, yes, right, like write something and like
You
play
know?
it and embody that feeling of that person that you're becoming in that song.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you were saying, try and tie it in a bunch of the senses. You've got the visual like that, you got the auditory, you have the feeling inside, the emotional part. I think that's a great idea. I like that idea. That's a good one.
I love it. Yeah, if you write something, I would love to hear it if you're open and feel comfortable there.
Well, I'd love to stay in contact with you too. There's something I wrote a minute ago. There's something about you that's, you see people all the time here on social media, but there's something about you that's really special.
Oh, thank you.
Why
I really
I
appreciate
was taught that's why I've been watching this stuff like that. I'd love to stay in
it.
contact with you.
I would love that. That is what I'm here to do. Just stay in contact and
All
um,
right.
love watching the journeys of other people and love knowing how my shares and what I move through inspires you. And, ultimately it's like giving others permission through being able to witness,
Yeah.
right? Uh,
And
and
also too with this, I don't know about you, but lots of people don't really think like this and understand this kind of thing. It's nice to connect with people that really get it and really understand
yeah.
what.
And when embody that and like start to practice that more regularly, you then get to be a leader for all the people in
Yeah,
your world. And they get to see through you like you're seeing through me, like what's possible. And it becomes this breath of fresh air where they're like, oh wow, like
right,
this special
right.
person gets it.
That's
How did
awesome.
you find
All
me?
right.
How did you
I
connect with
just came across, like on Instagram, you have things that people will just pop up, and
me? Yeah.
I clicked on it. Like I said, I found several people lately
Mm-hmm.
that, once again, it's the manifestation thing. I kind of looking at that interest. Then you start finding spiritual people, and then coach, various coaching people, and so on and so forth. And through all that, it kind of led me to you. So
Love it.
I
All
Now, where
fun
do
time.
you live?
I'm in Colorado. I'm
Colorado.
just outside of Boulder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Boulder's a beautiful area.
doing some more travel. It's been a little while since it is beautiful. I love it here. Yeah, I'm headed to Costa Rica in
Yeah.
next week and at that.
Why is that? It seems like people I know and stuff, especially in these kind of areas, people seem to head to Costa Rica a lot. Is there something about Costa Rica that just seems kind of special or something?
There is a large spiritual conscious festival that is happening in Costa Rica at the beginning of
Okay.
March. So that's one of the things that I'm heading down there for, just like arts and music and workshops and
Mm.
um, spiritual connection,
A lot of
freedom,
meditation things
a
I see, and
lot.
very
Uh,
yoga stuff. Yeah.
yep, and it's just this beautiful place where people around the world come for once a year in Costa Rica for this festival called Envision. So I'm looking forward to just like getting to witness other people in their essence and in their gifts and in what that they're bringing to the world to be of
It's
service.
cool. It's cool being in that vibe, isn't it?
It is
With other people, like-minded people like that.
it is life changing.
It really is.
Yeah, if you've never opted into anything like that, I highly recommend. There's a lot of, I mean, Envision is definitely like a more advanced side of like festival
Mm-hmm.
life and
Sure.
like that. But there's a lot of places that you can meet people that are in a more conscious space. And what's really beautiful is when you start to open your field to connect with people like that, whether that's mental communities, whether that's static dance communities, like they exist. And when you start to connect with more community that are more in that space, it helps you continue to expand, right? Because then you start to
Right.
develop different form of connection that usually holds a little bit more depth, a little bit more communication. And
And there just tends to be kind of a sense of an increase in energy, isn't there?
totally, right? We're energetic beings. And
Yeah.
like you said before, like there's something special about me, right? And you're what you're seeing and what you're feeling is the energy that I'm giving off, the things that I'm talking about. Like you're
Yeah.
resonating in a different way that you might resonate with maybe people that you're working with in the school system.
Yeah.
That be a little bit more like in that box, um, you know, likely because that's what they're taught and how they've been shown to live life, right? And they haven't necessarily stepped out of that box to start seeking, like, well, what else exists? Not as curious because they don't know how to be. And so when
Right. Right.
box and connecting with people that have these different values and that actually are thinking, it shows you what's possible. It allows you to develop a deeper sense of intimacy and not sexual intimacy, but like
I
platonic
know
intimacy.
what you mean.
And through the eyes of another, you get to more know yourself. And so I would highly encourage you and invite you to look locally around where you live. Like what kind of events are there that you can put yourself into, whether that be again dance, whether that be sound ceremonies, whether that be um men's groups and men's meetups, right? Places where you might be able to
Right.
find more people that think this way that you can actually connect with in person.
Quality from Native American indigenous people
Mm.
in my area too. And I think that's another area to tap into as well. I've been really interested in, you know, indigenous people and, some of their spiritual ideas as well and stuff. And it's all part of the journey. I feel great about it all. I feel great.
You being hearing that you're being called down the spiritual path
Yeah.
and present, and so listen to that, right? What is it that you're feeling drawn to? What is it that you're feeling attracted to right now in your life? And that might be different than what you used to be, and that's a beautiful thing.
Right.
And how can you create space to connect with those things that you're feeling pulled to? Because those things that you're feeling pulled to, and all these things that are coming up around manifestation, like they're here for a reason. There are these little outcomes that are meant to help you learn, that are meant to help you connect with this path. He's loading. He's loading. But yeah, these things are here to help you connect with this path that is going to bring you deeper into alignment. Like John's connection buffered out on us a little bit. But yeah, like guys, when these things come up and when you're feeling called to these new experiences in life, you get to make the conscious choice to create space for it. And they're there for a reason. They're coming up for a reason. You get to opt into listening. You get to opt into creating space for these experiences. Same thing with me with Costa Rica. Like I was hearing the call. I knew that there was something pulling me there, and I didn't just act on it right away. I created space for the alignment to happen and for things to land in my field. I created the space so that things could manifest. And that's part of diving deeper into self-awareness, is being able to identify when you're feeling attracted to something. Be able to identify if something's feeling good for you, if you're curious about something, like lean into it. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome. If you are hopping into my live, I would love to know where in the world you're from. These are Ask Me Anythings. We've got some friends in here. We've got my love heart in here. Hello, hello, everyone. We were talking about manifestation and how you can create the space to bring the things into your world that you're feeling called to, that you're feeling attracted to. And you know, John's phone died. He's back. John, if you want to come back in, you're welcome to. But yeah, like bringing this concept of manifestation into your everyday life, because manifestation is what helps you create the life that you desire. It helps you bring more happiness into your world. It helps you bring more abundance into your world. It helps you bring greater levels of health into your world. It helps you bring more abundant and like connected relationships into your world. John, I'll invite you in. We'll finish up our conversation here about manifestation. And we'll see if anyone else wants to come and join and chat. Just sent you an invite. There he is. Welcome back.
My phone died.
I hate when...
Sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah, what I was saying is just like follow these things, right? These things that you're feeling, things that are like this little like whisper over here, like, oh, what's happening? Like, I wonder about this. Like, allow yourself to be curious about it and start to lean in. Like, if some of these indigenous practices are calling to you, find spaces where you can learn about them, where you can drop yourself into the feeling of these practices, the feeling of like, because indigenous culture holds so much beautiful energy, right? It's medicine.
Yes, it does.
And let that medicine carry you. Let that medicine expand you. Let it connect you to the things that you're curious about and that you're interested in. And continue to just like be aware. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, keep your heart open, and allow yourself to intentionally create the space to connect with these things that you're feeling curious about.
Sounds awesome. All right.
And that song and the picture to put on your desk. Send me a photo.
I will do that. Thank you so much. It's been great talking to you.
You as well. I'm so happy to be connected, and thank you along. Like, love to meet my followers, and you know, my big thing in the world is just like curating community and deepening connection. So thank you for being here, and thank you for present and sharing your experience.
Yeah, thanks for your time. Let's talk. Let's keep in touch.
I would love that.
All right. All right. You take care, Leah. Thank you.
Bye, friend.
Bye-bye.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, what a beautiful conversation. I love when people find me on the interwebs and they're just like, I like what you're saying. listen, listen to those things. Listen to the whispers. Listen to the things that you're feeling drawn to, that you're feeling called to, because they're here for a reason. Hello, hello, hello. If you guys are hopping in here, drop in the chat, say hello. Let me know where in the world you are tuning in from today. This isn't Ask Me Anything. I come in here live every Thursday. It's a space for you to hop in and have conversation with me. I'd love to hear about what it is that you're going through. I'm here to offer free coaching, free support, free guidance, free reflections, because I want to support you in stepping into that next level of who you are meant to be. I want to support you in curating and creating the life that feels really good for you. I remember when there was a time in my life where I was miserable. I was depressed. I was anxious. I was unhappy. I was in toxic relationships. I was not in a good place in my life. And when I started opting into awareness, and when I started opting into more and deeper levels of that self-healing and allowing myself to lean into the things that felt good, to set boundaries with the things that didn't, my life started to change. I started to create an experience that feels really good for me. And like this past week, I have honestly just been sitting back and being like, holy shit, like this is my life. This is what I've built. And I've built it and I have it and I'm experiencing it because I opted in to awareness. I opted in to healing. I opted into creating change. I opted in to stepping into the unknown. And when you can continue to show up for yourself, and when you can continue to show up for these things, and when you can continue to realign yourself every single day with what is coming into your world, you get to create something beautiful. You get to create something unique. You get to create what it is that you deeply desire. And that's the thing, is like, if you don't like how you're feeling, if you don't like what's happening in your world, like, you get to create a change. You get to do that. You never need to be stuck where you are. You never need to be stuck in the experience that you're having if it doesn't feel good. You always have that choice. Let's see who we got in here. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to hop in here, let's see if Mark wants to join. Mark, I've been seeing you around lately. Let's see if you want to join the chat. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. I invited you. See if you want to join. Nope. Mark says no. Let's see. Mo, we've got Mo in here. Mo, are you working right now? Do you want to join the convo? Have you been to Africa? I have not been to Africa. No. Africa is definitely on my list. I like to wait until I feel the call to places, because normally when I feel that call, right, that whisper that we were talking about earlier, usually that's a sign to me that there is something there that is meant to, that I am meant to cross paths with, that is meant to catalyze me, that is meant to bring more awareness, deeper levels of healing, that's meant to help me grow. Again, that was the whole thing with Costa Rica for me. And excited to explore that. And I'm really excited to see what is there for me to lean into and to learn from and to expand from. So I have not been to Africa, but I would love to go someday. I would love to see it. Mark says, sorry, he's driving. That's okay. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for being here. Oh, let's see. What else has been happening in my world this week that I can share with you? Yeah, one of the things that hello everyone, welcome. If you're tuning in, let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. One of the things that has been beautiful for me this week, I actually got to There we go. I think I'm unmuted now. Can you hear me now? You guys are on it. How about now? Anything? Anything? Can you hear me now? Hello, hello. Good. All right, we're good. We're back. I think I hit the mute button. Yeah, one of the most beautiful things about opting into new experiences is that you get to be shown something different. You get to be shown what's possible. John and I were talking about this earlier, right? Like through opting into the things that might feel a little bit scary, through opting into, John, I didn't see your last comment. You want to drop it in here again? Um, through opting into something different, you actually get to like try a new hat on. You get to notice how it feels. You get to do something that brings you this new experience, that brings you a different feeling. And with those different feelings, you get to choose and opt into new things, right? And so like if you don't change up the environment externally, the environment internally will stay the same. But the moment that you step into something different, when you step into a new experience, when you change something about your external environment, is going to make what's happening inside shift. And when the things inside you can shift, it allows you to bring in more of that abundance, to bring more, to bring yourself more into alignment with the things that you're desiring, with the things that feel good for you. Dropping bombs, yes. Right? And so that's like, I love edges. I love playing with my edges in every way, shape, or form. Because when I get to play with my edges, I get to feel into something new. I get to try something new. I get to put on that new hat, right? You feel different in every hat you put on. It's a different vibe. And so when you can play with your edges and step into the unknown, step into the uncomfortable things, step into the new things, then you get to see from new perspectives. And I always go back to, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so what better way to change the way you look at things than playing with those edges and opting into something new, to trying something different. I'm going to come back a completely different person from Costa Rica than I was when I left, because I'm going to be exposed to so many new people, to so many new opportunities, to a new way of living, to a new environment, to new animals. Ooh, I'm stoked about the animal noises. My friend Lily's sitting next to me, just listening to me rant to you guys. Um, but like for me, like music is a huge part of me. It's something that brings me so much love, and I get to channel my music and my feelings through music, right? And so being exposed to new sounds and being exposed to new frequencies, it gives an opportunity for me to bring new things out of me. I talk about reflections all the time, right? And so whether it's through a person, whether it's through an animal, whether it's through a sound, it's going to elicit different feelings in you. It's going to trigger a new resonance within you. It's going to light up different frequencies within you, because everything's energy, right? And energy influences one another. Vibrational frequencies influence one another. And so putting yourself in these new experiences where there's different energies, where there's different people, where there's different perspectives, where there's different environments, it's going to allow you to pull new things out of yourself, to find new ways of being, to find new ways of living, to find new ways of feeling. But that can't happen if you stay in the exact same situation that you're in, if you keep yourself in the box that you're currently living in. So what is it that you can do to step outside the box that you're in? What is it that you can do to step into the unknown? Even if it's just one small, tiny little thing. Going to a new music show, going to a men's meetup or a women's meetup, meeting new people. If you're feeling called to, if you're feeling called to new experiences or new ways of thinking, how can you find people that are living in those new ways of thinking? How can you hear more of them? How can you put yourself around them? I have not been to Nigeria. No. No, I have not. So there's so much benefit to opting into something unknown. I would not be in my life where I am in my life today had I not opted into the unknown. Had I not chosen to move myself across the country, had I not chosen to go and spend 4 months in Europe, had I not chosen to start a business, had I not chosen to explore dance, had I not opted into relationships, even if I knew that they weren't going to last a long time, by opting in and saying yes, you get to have these new experiences that will change you. It will bring you new wisdom, new lessons. I go back often to what happens in romantic partnerships and romantic relationships, right? Because when you collide with somebody in the world, there's something that they pull out of you. There's a resonance that they have that elicits a new resonance within yourself. Whether you start to change your habits, whether you start to speak differently, your language, whether you start to act maybe a little bit differently, right? Like people pull these resonances out of you. And when you walk away from those romantic relationships, you are forever changed because of what they have opened your eyes to, because of what they've pulled out of you, because of the conversations you've had, because of the way that they've held you or held space for you or showed you new experiences or new things. You are forever changed because you ran into that person, because you collided with that person. And life is the same way. Traveling, like new events that you might go to, new people that you meet, like all these experiences that happen in your world do the same thing for you. And so you are going to come across so many new opportunities in your world, and then you get to opt into that. You get to immerse yourself in it, and then you get to move forwards, carrying that resonance, carrying that frequency, carrying those changes within yourself into the next version of who you are becoming, into the next version of who you are meant to be. And so trust the path, surrender and trust the process. You want to sing it with me? Surrender, trust the process. That's our motto. We live by it. I invite you to live by it. How can you surrender? How can you trust the process? How can you listen? How can you follow the things that are calling to you? I promise you, there's so much magic that exists when you listen. There's so much alignment that will come into your world when you listen and when you intentionally act on the things that are whispering in the back over here. They're there for a reason. Follow your calling. And if anything comes up on your path, anything that feels scary, anything that might lead you to want to step back into your cave and hide, just remember that things can't change unless you allow yourself to lean in to that which scares you, to that which is unfamiliar. And remember that you're always going to be okay. No matter what happens in life, you're always going to be okay. And at the end of the day, we're all human beings and we're all going to live and we're all going to die. It's part of our path. It's part of our journey. And like, think about all the things that have happened that have led you to where you are right now. You've always been okay. You've always figured it out. Things have always figured themselves out. And so how can you trust? How can you lean in? How can you opt in? How can you say yes to these new experiences? And even if they're dark, and even if they're challenging, and even if they're painful, they're bringing you so much. They're changing you. They're allowing you to love more, to open more, to feel more, to trust more, to be more. And so you always get the choice. You always have a choice. And if you're feeling challenged along the way, reach out, send me a message. Let's talk. I'm happy to hop on a free call with you, reflect to you maybe some of the roadblocks, give you some of the reminders that you might need along the way. Skylar. With that being said, thank you for being here. I hope that you tune in next Thursday to my live. I will be in Costa Rica. So tune in with me in Costa Rica. Tune into my travels, tune into my journeys, and all the things that I get to channel through me and share with you. So thank you again for being here. I'll see you next Thursday at 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I hope you have the most lovely rest of your day. Talk to you soon.